Hey y'all, today I'm going to be making a peanut butter chocolate pie. It's actually called Satin Pie. There's a restaurant here in Louisiana that serves it as dessert. There's one in Shreveport and Baton Rouge. I don't know if both of them are still open or not, but I grew up with my mother making this pie pretty much every holiday. She bought a cookbook from there when I was little just for this recipe. Thankfully, my aunt has hung on to this recipe over the years. I don't know if I do it justice compared to them because they're such wonderful cooks, but I try. So it's really easy, it's cheap to make, but it tastes like $1,000,000. There's only a few ingredients, so let's get started. So I'm just gonna talk about the crust for a little bit. The original recipe calls for you making your own graham cracker crust with graham cracker crumbs, brown sugar, and butter, and I will actually put that when I post the recipe. That's in the recipe. I usually do my own crust, but I didn't have any graham cracker crumbs, and I had this already made pie shell, so I'm going to be using it today. It's a shortbread cookie crumb pie crust, and I've never used that with this recipe, so it's going to be kind of like an experiment today. Alright, so we're going to start by making our filling, the peanut butter part of the filling. And the recipe calls for a hand mixer, but I don't have a hand mixer. So I'm going to do my peanut butter and cream cheese in my stand mixer, and then I'm just going to whisk the beat the cream by hand. So we're going to put in 2 cups of sugar, 1 cup of peanut butter, and this is, it calls for creamy peanut butter. 2 packs cream cheese, so 16 ounces of cream cheese, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Well, I gotta open it first. Alright, we're just gonna beat this till it's smooth. I'm gonna do it about medium speed because you don't want to break down your cream cheese so much that it starts to separate. If you're using a stand mixer, you'll want to stop a few times and just scrape the sides and the bottom of the bowl so that it gets all mixed up evenly. Alright, so this is ready. I beat it for, I don't know, about 5 minutes. Just do it till it's, good and smooth and creamy. Now we're going to move that to the side, and we're going to make some whipped cream. When I'm making fresh whipped cream, I always put my metal bowl. It's better and easier in a metal bowl, so if you have one, you can, use that. But if you don't have a metal bowl, then plastic works too. But if you have a metal bowl, put it in the freezer, and it'll help your cream whip up faster. And like I said, I don't have a hand mixer, and this is the only bowl I have for my stand mixer, so I'm just going to whip this by hand. And we're going to use 1.5 cups of cream, and you just want to whisk it till soft peaks form. Alright, so I had forgot to push the record button, but I beat my whipped cream till soft peaks formed, and it formed whipped cream. And then what you'll do is you'll take your whipped cream and fold it into your peanut butter mixture. And to fold in, you just go under, over, under, over. Until it all gets mixed in together. You don't want to stir it or beat it because then you're going to lose your air out of your whipped cream. And if you beat it, that whipped cream is going to continue to separate and break. You don't want your filling to break. So yeah, my record button did not get pushed. So the whole section about me showing you my whipped cream and folding it in did not get recorded. So you're going to take your whipped cream and fold it into your peanut butter mixture. And it took me 5 minutes to whip my whipped cream by hand. All right, I'm just going to put our filling in our pie shells. And this, for these little pre-made pie shells, it makes 3 pies. Because you want to leave a little bit of room on the top of the pie to put our chocolate glaze that we're going to add later. So just put that in your pie shells and smooth it out. And we're going to put it in the refrigerator for 6 hours. It's so good. I'm going to put one in the freezer. I've never put it in the freezer to make it get firm faster. But I'll put one in the freezer and let y'all know if that works. Alright, so I said I was going to put one of the pies in the freezer and time it, see if it would work. And I left mine in there for 35 minutes and it did firm up like it needed to. It didn't freeze. So you can put it in the refrigerator for 6 hours or you can put it in the freezer for 35 minutes. But it's been a full 6 hours, so all of our pies are firm and ready. So now we're going to make our chocolate glaze. And what you want is 3 just regular bars of Hershey's chocolate, just 3 regular Hershey bars, or I think it was 4.65 ounces of chocolate. So you can really change the type of chocolate you put on it if you want to. What we're going to do is we're going to melt our chocolate in the microwave in 30-second increments. Between each one, you're going to stir it so you don't burn your chocolate. If it burns, then it can seize up and it won't be any good to use. So we're just going to melt this in the microwave for 30 seconds each increment, and we'll be right back. Alright, so that's been, let's see, that was the second 30-second increment. And in between each one, I just stir it with a fork. So I'm going to do it another 30 seconds, and that should probably be good. Alright, so our chocolate's melted now. Now we're going to put 3 tablespoons of milk and whisk this together. 2, 3. Alright, so we've got our chocolate glaze made. I'm just going to put some of this on here. About 1/3 of it, since we have 3 pies. Try not to spill it everywhere. And then we're just going to roll this around, tilt it to get the chocolate to cover the whole pie. Just kind of help it. Just going to cover the top with that. It's going to take more chocolate than this. 3 pies. So we've got the chocolate covering our pie. We're going to put it back in the refrigerator until the chocolate chills and sets. So the original recipe called for just 3 chocolate bars, but this isn't enough chocolate. I want more chocolate for the top of my pies. So I'm going to melt some more chocolate. Going to do the same amount again. That's about 3 of the small Hershey's chocolate bars, or 4.65 ounces. So I'm going to do this again. So the chocolate glaze recipe that I'm going to put with the rest of the recipe, I'm using double of that for this because I came out with 3 pies. Alright, so that's how my family makes peanut butter chocolate pie, also known as satin pie. I hope y'all try it and that you love it as much as our family does. After the pies were ready, I just took some miniature peanut butter cups and cut them in half just to garnish, just to make it a little pretty. I was also thinking that instead of doing the individual round pies, you could take a big baking dish and just make one really big one. It wouldn't be as pretty maybe, but it's still going to taste just as good. Also, I was thinking you could replace the peanut butter with almond butter. And if you have a peanut allergy, you could do sunflower seed butter. But anyways, thank y'all for joining me, and I'll see you next time.